Steve Batiste, local New Jersey artist.
Steve Batiste.
Steve Batiste. He's it's his masterpiece.
Wow.
No, yeah, this is a project we started, tried to capture some of I guess urban farming's feel. Actually, it's funny, like what we were talking about before, the urban and rural coming together, right?
Yeah.
The urban lifestyle and the rural lifestyle coming together at the urban farm and being kind of a reminder of both. Well, he tried to capture a little bit of that. I think he did, actually. He's got the kind of the city on the edge of the mural tied to the countryside here. And for me, this has actually become a really important notion that I think about a lot. It's like, who says cities can't be green? And also, even more than that, who says that cities just can't include agriculture and nature right inside of them? We've developed this kind of world here in North Jersey that is so Euclidean, so separated,
Euclidean.
Like Euclidean, I think I'm using the right word, Euclidean zoning. Oh man, my urban planning teachers will kill me on this one if I'm wrong. But
we'll have to fact check that. If it's
we'll fact check it.
I'm sure it's correct. I'm learning from you, Euclidean.
The idea of separation of uses.
Right.
Let's get to the bottom of it. So separation of uses, like this should be a residential space. This should be a commercial space. This is an industrial space. And the farms and the environmental space, well, they can have their parks or they can have the countryside, but everything is separate. Well, I don't like that. I think that we as humans, a lot of things need to kind of sometimes bleed over into each other and remind us of what's out there. And having even a small farm on a block, in a city block, not only does it break up the urban landscape and is it pretty, but it's like this little reminder of that agriculture is the center of our society.
Right.
Agriculture is society.
Right. Agriculture is society. We were able to create society, no longer become hunter-gatherers, when we just started to use agriculture. We planted our stakes in the ground, made permanent housing, and then started to try to control and harvest from nature.
Yeah. And then
literally.
on just a personal level, I love aspects of rural communities and I love hiking, I love being out in the woods, but I also love what cities offer, and I can't even imagine myself not living near a big city.
Man, me too.
So,
I completely agree with that.
So I need urban agriculture. It's like the only way to blend the two things together.
You need to bring nature back to the concrete. You need to have both worlds in the Avatar movie meet. You need to have the yin and the yang. You need to have the rock and the rock and the tree. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can you sum up as we end here over these almost a decade now, the 8 years of the Swag Garden, the major accomplishments, the contributions, the produce production, and where you see and where you where you are going with the Swag and your other farms, because this is growing, and I just want to give you that.
Where's it going? Well, part of this is a little bit of a journey of test of faith kind of thing, where you don't always have a 10-year plan where exactly it's going to look like this in 10 years. It's a little bit more incremental than that. It's a little bit of being comfortable with growing when opportunities come. So, you have an opportunity to build a new garden or an opportunity to form a new partnership with a school or somebody, and you just take it and you branch out literally organically and you grow urban agriculture that way. But for me, the things that stand out in my mind are like building a family atmosphere here where a bunch of pretty diverse people and people from a lot of different backgrounds kind of just feel really comfortable and feel like they own this place together. And just the transformation that it's made for each of us personally is like pretty profound. Everything from myself eating healthier and becoming a vegetarian and all these kinds of things, but also just like our comfort level interacting with people that are different than us, and like our ability to just like connect with people from all walks of life. And then I like to think, it's always hard to measure this, but I like to think we've had a huge impact on the students and teachers here. I like to think that and I know for a fact that this project has given myself and my colleagues and Alexandra in particular it's been our calling card, right? It's been like, oh, you're the guys who do the Swag project. Can you help me with another garden? Can you help us with a food issue? Can you help us with something in our school? This has opened so many doors for me.
And now you're professional consultants that have this real life experience if you want to be.
Yeah. I guess that's what we are.
Well, and so much more. Community builders and
I see myself as like I'll never feel like I'm an expert gardener. I like getting better at it. I like the challenge of it. But I definitely I'm starting to know my place now in this tapestry of people, and there's so many good people here doing great stuff. And my role is to kind of encourage and help support and get people what they need to build more gardens, to do some of what Swag has done, but they can make it look totally differently if they want, as long as they're successful. And the next challenge, is getting everybody together. I think we talked about this briefly. I think the biggest frontier right now is, can we lock in land so that urban agriculture doesn't go away? And it's a serious threat. Like, we're in the South Ward of Newark here, where development has been kind of slow over the last 5 decades,
right?
Whatever it's been.
Right.
But even now, Newark is booming downtown, right? It's picking up real estate. It's picking up real estate development. Is turning its like Eye of Mordor on Newark, right? so that's probably a little strong. But anyway.
But it does speak to the fact that like progress is great when it comes to like building new buildings and industry. But at the same time, that industry directly depends upon the people and what do they eat? They eat obviously food and vegetables and fruits. So we need to have that balance between having permanent, in perpetuity, adopt the plot leases, or this is X amount of the land is dedicated to urban farming, open green spaces, pocket parks. I mean, Senator Booker talked about that.
And
talks about it.
That's what I want to see, and I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people want to see that, and actually, even the development community wants to see that.
And
no one wants to see it all go away.
Right, and I bet you Mayor Roz Baraka and all the councilmen and women want to see that.
Sure do.
So by advocating, working with Emilio from Swag Garden, that South Florida Agriculture, and reaching out to your local representatives, you can make great green spaces like this be green spaces in perpetuity. And
So what I need right now, what I'm asking people to do is try to come to the table with our Newark Urban Ag Alliance and our newly formed Urban Ag Cooperative. They're just our entity, our way of getting everybody together. There's a lot of leadership roles within that. It's not me just like leading it.
Right.
I'm just convening it, and I'm just continuing to push us down the road to say to the city and to development community, let us hold some of this land for this purpose in whatever form that takes. Like you said, long-term leases or conveying some of the properties to a nonprofit for us to keep them like a trust.
Right.
This has to stay, and this has to stay as the city grows and changes. It has to be a constant. It has to be a part of our infrastructure. Okay, this is as important as sewage and as garbage collection. Okay,
Right.
This is like a part of city fabric. And in a world where we are increasingly unhealthy, increasingly disconnected from nature and food, and we're really literally feeling the effects of climate change every day, we need these spaces to be resilient, to grow our own food, to like bounce back.
Phenomenal. Thank you, Emilio.
You got it, man.
I'm looking forward to next time. I'm sure it'll be soon.
In LA.
In LA. Thanks so much.